should you get and build Thorns Altar? Short answer, probably yes. Long answer, this entire video.
Doctor, welcome to La Cuna de Nene. I am her captain.
¡Izad la bandera, marineros! ¡Haced saber a nuestros enemigos que estamos aquí!
昔のように命令をくれ、ドクター。お前に従おう。旗を上げろ、野郎ども！俺たちが来たことを敵に知らしめてやれ！
Isidore, codename Thorns, a Naga from Iberia, and a former Rhodes Island combatant, who is now a captain of an independent exploration ship called Cuna de Nene, which literally means baby's cradle. And despite his new responsibility, he is still maintaining a cooperative partnership with Rhodes Island. Alright, Thorns the Lodestar is our first 6-star alchemist specialist. A ranged unit, and in a nutshell, they are a supporter in the specialist class. And in Thorns Altar case, he is a versatile unit, able to provide passive healing, arts DOT, and weakening the enemies significantly. Okay, so this is his general stats. Well, there's nothing worth mentioning about alchemist stats, though they do have a rather big resistance, but overall they are still a fragile unit. But of course, we don't judge operators by their stats alone. Then this is his talent. With his first talent, Thorns will get a permanent attack buff, and a second effect that prolongs the duration of his alchemy units, when there's another operator inside his range. This second effect pretty much means prolong his skill duration, and shortening the time gap between new alchemy units. So I would definitely suggest you put another operator beside him to get this second effect. For his second talent, Thorns will increase all friendly units' attack speed, while the enemies will get theirs reduced. This effect is doubled to those who stand on the straight lines of 6 or more tiles. And this double bonus should be easily indicated by that sparkle, whenever Thorns is deployed. Then this is his potential upgrade. You got stuff that will reduce his cost and redeployment time, enhancing his talent 1 by giving more attack bonus, and extending the alchemy unit by another second. Though weirdly enough, there's a potential upgrade that increases his resistance. Well, like most operators he is fine without extra pot. Now here is Thorns Altar module. By the time I made this video, Alchemist module was not yet available. And if we follow CN schedule, it should be released during Iblana's debut. But here's what his first module can do. Currently all Alchemist only have the X module, which will make them gain SP recovery bonus if their alchemy unit is on the field. The bonus isn't big though, it's literally just 0.1 second. And for stats, this module will boost his HP and attack. For upgrade, there's nothing new. In stage 2 it will extend the alchemy unit duration, and stage 3 will increase his attack bonus. Personally, I don't see anything impactful with this module. So this module shouldn't be a necessity, like how Merchant Specialist with their module. Well, pretty much get this if you already build Thorns Altar, and wanted to make him stronger. Now let's see his skills. All of his skills serve different purposes. So even if you have already unlocked his skill 3, you might need to go back to using his skill 1. And speaking of which, his skill 1 is a heal focused skill. He will throw an alchemy unit that covers 9 tiles, providing a flat amount of defense and passive healing. In case you forgot, passive or regeneration healing is the kind of heal you can give to someone who normally cannot be healed, also known as enmity units. And also can be used to heal summon unit. And I think this has to be the best source of passive healing we have right now. because the healing amount is quite big. It covers many tiles, and can even cover tiles that are not in his range. But probably the most interesting thing is that Thorns can actively target and heal enmity or summon units. And if that's not enough good news, this skill has a cheap SP cost, even lower than the alchemy unit duration. And because this skill doesn't lock his SP, he can start charging this skill again after he throws an alchemy unit, making this skill extremely spammable, and let you have more than one alchemy unit present on the field. And yes, the effect of this alchemy unit can be stacked. Overall, an amazing source of passive healing. As for his skill 2, this time his alchemy unit will inflict arts dot to ground enemies, and provide passive healing just like skill 1, although with a slightly lower healing amount. The DPS and heal from this skill is pretty great, especially if you can stack 2 different alchemy unit together. Not to mention, dot shine against some enemy or level mechanics. Though if you're only needed the healing, it's best to stick with skill 1. This skill also comes with the ability to reduce enemy healing or recovery, which I believe is still something that only Thorns Altar have, though I don't think it's relevant most of the time. The most recent and probably the only time I find it useful is when I play this stage from Arknights CN recent Latter Anno event, where these enemies have some crazy heal. Anyway, this skill alchemy unit starts with only covering small number of tiles, but it will gradually cover more area. Thorns will typically place the alchemy unit at his current target. If there's none, he will place the alchemy unit right in front of him. This targeting can create a bit of a problem. For example, here I want to heal Grace with Thorn's skill, but because he currently targets that bulldozer at Jessica's location, the alchemy unit failed to reach Grace. Or when I want to target these bulk of enemies at the center, but surprise, there's a spider aggroing him. Well, it's pretty much a manageable problem. So this is still a pretty great DPS / healing skill in my book. Not to mention the skill has a relative quick cycle, and has the potential to be spammable, thanks to the fact that this skill doesn't lock his SP. But just like skill 1, he will immediately charge his skill again after throwing an alchemy unit. Lastly, we have his skill 3. This one will give him a passive that will extend his range. As for the active effect, it provides both debuff and damage. And the way Thorns do it is rather interesting. He will chain up to 4 operators, prioritizing someone with the lowest block count, creating some sort of domain. And enemies inside that area will get significantly weakened, while also receiving arts dot. And both the debuff and damage will gradually grow stronger. Overall, it's an amazing debuff skill. He can easily cut enemies' defense and resistance in half, allowing him and other operators to deal significant blow to the targets with ease. Especially when we are talking about bosses. On his own, it's also a pretty great DPS skill. But clearly it's a debuff skill first, damage second. This skill main purpose is to allow damage dealer to deal even bigger damage without hindrance. By the way, here's some cool things you should know about this skill. After this skill is used, the alchemy unit is actually not tied to the operators. Meaning if the operator is retreated, the alchemy unit will persist. This alchemy unit can affect flying enemies. And yes, like his other skills, this one doesn't lock his SP either. So before you say that 60 SP cost is massive, he basically only needs about 30 seconds before he can throw a new alchemy unit. The biggest downside of this skill is no doubt it requires too much to set up for optimal result. I mean, it should not a problem in most story content. But in something like IS mode, where you have to make do with what you have, it can be really awkward to use. It can also be argued that this much debuff, most of the time, is not necessary. Alright, for skills that are recommended to master. Well, it really depends on what you need, but the popular choice should be his skill 2. It can provide a nice healing and damage at the same time, with a relatively quick cycle. Though the healing reduction to enemies is extremely nice. And if you're looking for passive healing and maybe defense bonus, you can go with skill 1. But I personally find it already good at level 7. Then if you want to inflict strong debuff, definitely go with skill 3. Now let's see his base skills. When in factory, Thorns is able to increase precious metal productivity. And thanks to his skill 2, the bonuses further increase for every trading post. So ladies and gentlemen, should you get and build Thorns the Lodestar? For a support and debuffer, I personally think he is a good unit. With the versatile abilities to be used in lots of situations. Though like some other jack-of-all-trades operators, other operators might be able to do better than one of his abilities. For example, his skill 1 passive heal is quite comparable to Skulter skill 2. But people will most likely choose Skulter, because aside from heal, she also provides permanent attack buff, which is more useful, and not to mention her C-band that can be used as her range extension. So overall, while I think he is a good unit, I don't think he is a must to get. And if you watch this during his debut, you might want to hold back, because according to CN schedule, the next new operators banner after him is a limited banner, featuring some strong operators in it. That should be all. Adios.